Winners don't wake up hoping to win. They build the damn win brick by brick every single day. If you're tired of losing, it's because your habits suck and your standards are too damn low. Fix them or stay broke. If you're sick of mediocrity, it's time to study the habits of the elite. Dan Peña doesn't whisper success, he demands it. In this video, we break down the no BS, hard-hitting, winning habits that attract success like a magnet. Change your routine, change your life. No fluff, just the raw truth. Wake up with purpose, not comfort. Losers hit snooze, winners hit the ground running. Dan Peña starts his day before the sun even knows it exists. Why? Because comfort is the enemy of execution. You don't deserve an easy morning. You earn results through ruthless discipline. Start the day on fire or spend your life putting out the flames of regret. Every day you wake up, you're handed two options: chase your potential or betray it. And most people, 99%, troll over and choose betrayal. They hit the snooze button not just on their alarm, but on their entire life. That snooze is symbolic. It says, I'm okay with being mediocre. It says, I'd rather feel safe than be successful. That's exactly what separates the weak from the elite. Dan Peña doesn't rise early because it sounds cool. He does it because time is the only asset you don't get back. And he's not wasting a single damn second of it. You don't need 8 hours of sleep. You need a reason to get out of bed. If you had $1 billion opportunity waiting for you at 5 a.m., you wouldn't need an alarm. You'd wake up hungry. So what's the difference? Purpose. Without a fire in your gut, every morning feels like a chore. But when you've got goals that scare you and standards that stretch you, waking up becomes a mission, not a maybe. Winners understand that mornings are sacred. It's when you sharpen your mind, reinforce your vision, and build momentum before the world even opens its eyes. When you own your morning, you dominate your day. The weak roll out of bed reacting to life, the strong rise and start dictating it. You think Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or Dan Peña are sleeping in, cuddling their comfort? Hell no. They're up creating the world the rest of us live in. The truth is, if your morning is lazy, your life is lazy. Your first decision of the day sets the tone for everyone after. That decision to hit snooze is a vote for your excuses. That decision to rise early, train hard, think clearly, and move fast. That's a vote for your empire. You don't become a high performer by accident. It's not genetics. It's not luck. It's habitual aggression in your daily routine, especially in the hours when nobody's watching. Success isn't about doing what's convenient. It's about doing what's required, even when it sucks, especially when it sucks. So set your alarm for war. Get up before your doubt does. Win the morning. You start stacking wins before the world even knows you're awake. That's how kings are made. That's how legacies are built. Wake up with purpose or stay asleep in the prison of your potential. Your choice. But remember, comfort never built a damn empire. Execution did. Make decisions like a CEO, not a crybaby. Indecision is the playground of the poor, the lazy, and the weak. Every second you spend thinking about it is a second the competition spends doing it. That's why you're behind. You don't need more information, you need more balls. Dan Peña doesn't sit in a corner journaling his feelings about a decision. He pulls the damn trigger and lives with the results. Because that's what killers do. The world doesn't care how long you took to decide. It only cares if you won. When you hesitate, you signal to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you're uncertain, unprepared, and unworthy of leadership. Indecision is not a delay tactic. It's a form of self-doubt. You're afraid of the consequences, afraid of failing, afraid of being wrong. So you wait, and wait, and wait. And what happens? Life moves on, the opportunity is gone, and some other bastard who acted faster is now cashing in on what could have been yours. You think CEOs sit around holding hands with their board members waiting for a sign? Hell no. They make decisions that carry massive risk, massive reward, and they do it with the clarity of conviction. You want to live big? Then start deciding big. Stop asking everyone else what they think. Their opinion doesn't pay your bills. Your future doesn't give a damn about your fear. It only responds to your moves. You're scared to be wrong? Good. Be scared, but act anyway. Because being wrong after taking action will teach you 100 times more than being right after years of sitting on your ass doing nothing. Dan says it plain. High performance people decide fast and change slow. Losers decide slow and change fast. Always jumping from one shiny object to another, never building momentum, never committing to the long game. That's why they stay broke. That's why they stay irrelevant. Making powerful decisions requires guts, not guarantees. You will never have all the answers. You will never feel ready. That's the myth that keeps you stuck in neutral while others are flying by you in fifth gear. You want success? Start deciding like your life depends on it, because it does. Your destiny is shaped by the choices you make, and more importantly, by the speed at which you make them. The people who dominate life move with certainty, not because they always know the outcome, but because they trust themselves to handle whatever happens next. That's what Dan teaches. That's what winners live by. So the next time you feel hesitation creeping in, kill it. Pull the trigger. Own the outcome. Because if you can't decide, you can't lead. And if you can't lead, you'll always be following someone who had the guts to do what you couldn't. Decide now or get left behind. Bill Russell's standards expanded to 500 words. Your habits are not just what you do, they're who you are. And they are born from your standards. If your standards are soft, your results will be even softer. Dan Peña doesn't tolerate average. He doesn't wake up and say, I hope today goes well. He wakes up and forces the day to submit, because in his world, average is a disease, and the cure, ruthless standards. When you accept average, you're telling the world, and worse, yourself, that it's okay to live beneath your potential, that it's acceptable to quit when things get tough, that it's reasonable to let excuses creep into your daily operating system. And once you accept that, the decline begins. First, you compromise once, then twice, then you blink, and mediocrity becomes your new normal. That's how losers are made, not in one big failure, but in thousands of tiny negotiations with weak. Dan Peña teaches that the people who win at the highest level hold themselves to the highest possible standards. Not just in business, but in everything. They don't say, that's good enough. They say, that's not even close. You've got to start seeing yourself like a top-performing asset. Would you invest in someone like you with your current attitude, your current output, your current discipline? Be honest. If the answer is no, raise your damn standards. Winners don't wait for someone else to push them. They push themselves like their life depends on it, because it does. You've got one shot at this life, and if you spend it coasting, you'll never taste greatness. Stop measuring yourself against losers. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday and who you're capable of being tomorrow. Then raise the bar so high that the old version of you couldn't even reach it on his best day. And listen, standards aren't goals. Goals are dreams with deadlines. Standards are non-negotiables. That means you don't try to wake up early, you do. You don't hope to be productive, you execute. You don't aim to be consistent, you show up, rain or shine, tired or not, ready or not. Because when you operate at that level, people notice. The world notices. Opportunities open. Doors swing wide for the relentless. But don't kid yourself. This isn't easy. It's a war. Every day, you battle the old version of you, the lazy one, the one that wants to take shortcuts, skip steps, blame others. That version needs to die. Ruthless standards are the weapon. Use them. You want to build an empire? Then stop thinking like a peasant. Build a code of conduct for yourself that's so intense, so bulletproof, that mediocrity can't survive around you. Get serious, get focused, get ruthless. Because in the end, the world doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you demand. And the only people who get what they demand are the ones with standards high enough to command it. Executate only with killers, not victims. You want to know why you're stuck? Look around. Look at who you're spending your time with. That's your future staring back at you. If you're surrounded by broke thinkers, complainers, and dream killers, don't expect to build an empire. Winners don't rise with losers on their back. Dan Peña doesn't keep people around for comfort. He keeps killers, high-performance psychos, people obsessed with domination, not validation. Because in the real world, mediocrity is contagious, but so is excellence. And you've got a damn choice to make. Surround yourself with excuses or with executioners. People think they can hang around losers and still win. That's a delusion. You don't become a lion hanging out with sheep. You don't become elite keeping company with the average. Your circle determines your standards. Your environment sets your temperature. If you're always the smartest, richest, or most driven person in the room, you're in the wrong damn room. Winners hate being the biggest fish in a small pond. They throw themselves into the ocean where sharks swim, because that's where growth lives. Pressure creates diamonds, not comfort zones. Dan didn't build his empire by sipping tea with talkers. He sat at tables where action speaks louder than noise, where people are closing deals, crushing targets, and raising the bar every damn day. That energy is infectious. It forces you to level up or get left behind, and that's the point. Being around killers makes you feel the heat. It exposes your weakness. It burns away your excuses. That's how you grow, by being uncomfortable, outmatched, and under pressure. Most people avoid that. Winners seek it out. If your so-called friends laugh at your dreams, cut them off. If they question your grind, walk away. If they drain your energy instead of fueling your ambition, fire them. This isn't about being heartless. It's about being ruthless with your future. You've got one shot at this game called life. Don't waste it in circles that think mediocrity is normal. Find people who challenge you, scare you, push you. People who don't clap for effort, they demand results. And if you can't find that circle, build one, or be a one-man army until you do. That's what Dan did. He didn't wait for support. He became his own damn motivation until the right people showed up. But here's the kicker. When you raise your standards, your tribe will change. Low-level people will fall off. High-level people will show up because they recognize their own. So stop entertaining victims who tell you it's okay to settle. You're not here to fit in, you're here to dominate. Associate only with killers, because iron sharpens iron and cowards sharpen nothing. Execute now, perfect later. Winners don't sit around polishing the plan while the world passes them by. They execute. Period. Because deep down, they know that waiting for perfect is just a clever disguise for fear. Perfection is the myth losers tell themselves to avoid doing the damn work. Dan Peña doesn't believe in getting ready. He believes in getting results. Every second you spend obsessing over the perfect conditions, the perfect timing, the perfect strategy, someone else is out there doing it messy and getting ahead. You don't get paid for ideas. You get paid for execution. Success isn't about having the cleanest blueprint. It's about having the guts to break ground while others are still measuring the floor. You want to build muscle? You don't study gym manuals. You get under the iron and fail forward. Business? Same damn principle. Your first pitch might suck. Your first product might flop. Good. That's how you learn. You sharpen your edge in the arena, not in the classroom. Dan says it like it is. Pull the trigger and fix the aim later, because you'll never get it right if you don't start getting it wrong. The graveyard is full of geniuses who never launched, full of people with potential who waited for a sign, for clarity, for courage. Winners don't wait for inspiration. They manufacture momentum through movement. Action creates clarity. Action exposes your weaknesses so you can fix them. But sitting on your hands waiting for the right moment, that's just fear in disguise. And fear, my friend, is the one killer of dreams. You don't need more research. You need more reps. Get punched in the face by reality, then punch back harder. That's how winning works. You pivot, you adjust, you adapt, but you never stall. Perfection is a moving target, and if you keep chasing it, you'll never fire a single shot. Losers admire the sniper. Winners become the sniper by pulling the damn trigger over and over again until they hit. There's no shame in failing fast. The shame is in never starting. Don't let your ego trick you into thinking you're preparing. Preparation without execution is just elegant procrastination. If you're waiting to feel ready, let me save you some time. You won't. Readiness is a lie. Confidence comes from action, not planning. You don't think your way into success. You act your way there. So stop tweaking the plan. Stop rehearsing your pitch for the 50th time. Stop waiting for the economy to stabilize or for your self-doubt to disappear. Those who win are the ones who move first, fall fast, and rise faster. That's how Dan built empires, not through theory, but through ruthless, relentless execution. Done is always better than perfect. Because perfect never shows up. Execution does. Obsess over results, not effort. Because effort is cheap. Everyone says they're trying. Everyone says they're working hard. But here's the harsh truth. Dan Peña drills into every room he walks into. Nobody gives a damn about how hard you tried. The only thing that matters in this world is what you produced. Period. Full stop. That's why losers stay broke. They're too busy feeling proud about motion instead of demanding measurable progress. Effort is what you tell your mom when you fail. Results are what you show the world when you win. Trying is for amateurs. Results are for killers. You can hustle 18 hours a day doing the wrong things, talking to the wrong people, chasing the wrong goals, and still end up with nothing. Dan calls it busy being busy. You're doing a lot, but getting nowhere. That's not success. That's self-deception. If you want to win, you need to measure your life by the scoreboard. Not your feelings, not your intentions, the numbers, the growth, the execution. That's what separates winners from whiners. The elite don't care about effort. They track KPIs. They track cash flow. They track deals closed, not calls made. They don't care how many times you've swung the bat. They care if you hit the damn ball. They're not emotional about results. They're obsessed with them. Because results don't lie, people do. Effort can be exaggerated. Results are undeniable. If your bank account isn't growing, your body isn't improving, your business isn't expanding, then guess what? You're not winning. You're just running in circles. Dan doesn't sugarcoat it. If your life looks the same month after month, year after year, then your effort is meaningless. You're stuck in the same patterns because you've been tolerating lackluster results. Why? Because you convinced yourself that trying was enough. It's not. You need to raise your standards so high that effort without outcome becomes unacceptable. You need to demand results like your life depends on it, because it does. Tracking your progress isn't optional, it's mandatory. You should know your numbers cold. What did you achieve this week? What got better? What got done? If you can't answer that, then you're not a player. You're a passenger. And passengers don't win. They wait, they wish, they whine. Players dominate because they measure what matters. They adapt, they improve, they deliver. So stop being proud of effort. Start being addicted to outcome. The world doesn't remember the guy who tried really hard. It remembers the one who won. The scoreboard is always running. And the only people who hate keeping score are the ones who are losing. Stop asking for motivation. Start demanding more from yourself. Winning isn't for the chosen few. It's for the disciplined, the relentless, and the ruthless. Adopt these habits, and success won't just find you, it'll chase you down.